do this. Okay. This is the first time I'm borrowing someone's laptop, so I haven't done it on the laptop yet. All right.
Oh, okay.
How's it going?
It's going.
All right, cool. So, well, I guess what is your, well, I know your name, so, but what is your job title?
So my name is, I'm going to start do it like an introduction real quick. My name is Joel Arcey. I am the integrated pest management agent for El Paso and Hudspeth County with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service.
Okay. So, what does that mean? What do you do then?
So I mainly deal with pests, so whether that be, weeds, insects, plant diseases, that kind of thing. And I also give advice and recommendations on pesticides. So, pesticide training. So if people need CEUs or, have questions just about pest management in general.
Okay, so all right, well, cool. I got some questions then. Okay, so we've had a lot of rain this year, a lot more than normal, I know, and even I am feeling the effects of mosquitoes right now. So can you just tell me a little bit about like what's the deal with the mosquitoes this year, in your own words?
Okay, well, for one, the rain has a big effect on it. We hadn't had the drying time in between the rains. And so standing water is just a massive breeding ground for mosquitoes. So unlike years past, we would get a rain shower and it would dry up before we got another one. We didn't really see that this year. I mean, it was almost 2 solid weeks of rain every day. So that's a big part of it. And really, it's really just the rain. It increased the vegetation, that increased their places to breed and have more mosquito babies. So that was probably a big part of it.
Yes, for sure. So now so I'm not from here. I just moved here. This is my 4th month of work. So do mosquitoes kind of stay around year round, or is it normally in the summer months, monsoon months?
If I'm fairly new here myself, I've been here officially for 2 years last month. So normally I would say yes, because of some of the weather. If we get a good freeze during the winter months, that's going to knock down the populations. It's going to knock down populations of a lot of insects. But when I say a good freeze, that usually means below 28 degrees Fahrenheit for more than 4 hours. So if it's, gets down to freezing for 30 minutes, that's not going to do a whole lot. It really is a long, hard freeze.
Okay, so you're basically saying they are normally around year round then?
No, I'm not saying that. There is peak seasons, so spring, late spring, summer, and early fall, I would say are peak seasons. And that's just in general for most insects.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I mean, there are some exceptions, but for the majority of it, it's, when stuff is green, you're going to find insects.
Gotcha. So, well, I guess, can you just tell us, like, what can people do about them?
Okay. Well, for one, they are attracted to dark clothing, mosquitoes. So dark clothing, avoid being outside from at dusk and at dawn. So early in the mornings, early evening, that's when they're going to be most active. I'm not going to say that they don't like the midday heat, but that's when they're most active is dusk and dawn. Avoid large areas of vegetation, or like overgrown weeds, that kind of thing. And if there's any standing water, stay away from that, because that's where they're mainly going to be, because that's where they lay their eggs. That's where, water is life. So standing water, avoid dusk and dawn, which is the high traffic time because it's cool, but we want to avoid those times as much as possible.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, that's all I have for you. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, so I saw on your email that you sent about insect repellent. So the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends using insect repellent for just about all ages and under, except 2 months and younger. So DEET is safe for all ages except basically newborns. But they do recommend, if you're going to be using DEET on children, to use a low percentage of DEET. So that's DEET. And so a low percentage, around 10% DEET for young kids, and avoid the eyes and hands, because kids are going to be touching their face and all that stuff. So avoid the face and hands. If an adult is going to be working outside, in vegetation and chances of a lot of mosquitoes, insect repellent is an excellent choice, as well as covering much skin as possible. So, a long sleeve shirt, and, pants, if all possible. And that's going to reduce your chances of getting a lot of insect bites. And that's really about it. I mean, so I've had a couple of questions about, is, DEET safe for children? And it absolutely is. So let's keep that percentage low. Now, another thing with DEET is there can be some like skin rashes and things like that. And it's very noticeable. It's going to be, a rash. And if that does occur, stop the use of DEET and then wash it off immediately.
Okay. Well, what about off? Is off pretty effective?
So that's what I'm referring to when I say DEET.
Okay.
It's the active ingredient in insect repellents.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah. So there's others that I'm not real familiar with, but DEET is the real most common one that is found in off.
Okay.
So off and repel, it's the active ingredient.
Gotcha. All right. That clears up things for me. So, okay, that reminded me of another question. Now, what about homemade recipes? Are those effective?
I'm not going to endorse those, just because we don't know some of the things that whether they're effective or not. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to endorse those, the use of those. But there is some things that do help. So like citronella scented candles and oils, those are very good at repelling them. They're keeping away from an area, as well as citronella plants. So the plants themselves are effective at keeping mosquitoes away. I mean, so those are some proven stuff that works, that are not necessarily you spray on your skin and it just affects the area. So, I mean, the citronella candles, the little swirly things that you light, those have been proven to be somewhat effective. And without having to spray that. So yes, those are what I'm going to say about the homemade stuff, or not necessarily homemade, but alternatives to DEET. So yeah, that I say that because how can I put this? I don't want to say anything about anything homemade, because something happens and then it falls back on us.
Yeah.
For recommending it, but those items, so the DEET and the citronella, those have been proven to work.
Okay, I got you. So, all right. Well.
Okay. So anyway, well, I know that was a really quick, but another thing, it is important for not to be bitten by mosquitoes, because they are vectors to multiple diseases. We got the West Nile virus, Zika. I'm pretty sure people have heard about the St. Louis encephalitis. All those things are vectored by mosquitoes. mean, then there's multiple more dengue fever and yellow fever and stuff like that. So it's very imperative that if you show any, there's multiple different symptoms of it, but those are all vectors. So mosquitoes carry those diseases, and if you get bit by them, they may transfer it to you and have some really adverse effects.
I sometimes wonder if I've gotten some of that stuff because I always get bit, like literally always. And my bites always turn into huge like welts, but sometimes, I mean, some bites are different, you know. I feel like I've gotten like little, like, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but I feel like I wonder if I've gotten some of those things.
Well, no, it would be a lot of them are flu-like symptoms, high fever, stuff like that. But what you're probably experiencing yourself is you're probably allergic to them. I mean, there are mosquito allergies. And that's one of the signs is you get bit by one and it just whelps up really big. And that is a sign of an allergy.
It lasts forever, so maybe
Yes.
that too then. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
So, okay, well, yes, thank you. That really clears up things for me, and very good. Thank you so much.
Okay. And if you have any other questions, I'm here. Like I said, I mainly do agricultural work with cotton and pecans, but I am also available to, just residential people as well. Lawn questions, or, if you have any questions that, you would like to answer it, or, just curious about, the extension service is here to serve the community of El Paso.
I appreciate that. Yes. So, I mean, maybe one day I'll have to hit you up for another story. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, no problem. And so I know this is a horrible picture quality. You can't really see my face, so hopefully it's not me on air saying this. I have a feeling that you can type it up and make it more presentable than I can probably say it. So I'm kind of just rambling on now. So,
well, I'll probably use at least a little bit of the video. I probably will.
Oh,
is that okay with you?
Okay, will you do that? And maybe I can get some better lighting.
I mean, we could.
I mean, because I can't even see my face. I don't know how well you can see me.
I mean, I could see you perfectly fine. I would say the only thing was the glare in your glasses, but I'd say the video looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I promise I wouldn't tell you if I would tell you if it was gonna be bad, but no, you look fine.
Okay, well, all right. Well, thank you very much, and it was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope you enjoy El Paso.
Thank you. So, all right, bye-bye now.
All right, bye.
All right, let's see.